Hello, welcome back to this channel. Also to me, welcome back to this channel. It's just me back again, me and my iPad and my microphone. If you watched my arcane video, you would understand this. If you didn't, that's okay. Don't bother. It's 5 hours long. Do not do that to yourselves. I'm interested in like revamping this channel and being more creative on this channel. It's a tale as old as time. I feel like a broken record. And yeah, does it feel like kind of like a broken, empty promise when I say this every single time? Yes. Do I take full accountability for that? Absolutely. And am I just a girl at the end of the day? Also yes. Also yes. Anyway, but I'm back, and I thought today would be fun to do a fun little writing video, but instead of me actually writing to you like we have done in the past, I thought we'd do a little show and tell, or I'm gonna frame it as like a writing haul. I love to watch a haul on YouTube. I love to watch a grocery store haul. I love to watch like a try on clothing haul, but this is not that kind of haul. Say haul one more time. Anyway, so I write a lot all the time, basically, and I just have a lot of stuff that's just like sitting on my laptop, and a lot of them are like incomplete things, a lot of them are story concepts, a lot of them are just little scenes, and I just have so much in here. And I think it would be fun to just do a little show and tell. Show and tell, writing haul, both. Why not both? I also think that this could be a very fun way for me to also dive back into revamping this channel and being more creative publicly and being less afraid of the world. Not that I'm like afraid of the world, but I'm a little afraid. Anyway, I just thought that this would be an easy way to jump back into this online atmosphere, very low stakes, and just reading things that I've written recently. I think about like 4 or 5 pieces of writing to share to the group today, and I'll give a little context before each one, but a lot of these pieces, most of these pieces, all of these pieces, they're not complete works. They are just scenes mostly, or intros to something that could be bigger in the future. Most of these come from writing prompts that I find online, or I just make up in my head, or I ask friends of mine to give me prompts and I'll just write about them. And so again, nothing like very crazy, nothing Pulitzer Prize worthy, but something that just like gets your creative energy flowing, and then you kind of just start writing. Anyway, I'm just gonna dive right in, and we're gonna start with the first piece, which none of these have titles. The context for this first one, I was at Costco with my family, and it was a Sunday, and that's arguably the worst day to go to a Costco. And the worst part about Costco is the parking lot. And I just had this thought of, what if somebody crashed their car in the Costco parking lot? So what I'm about to read you is what came from that thought. It has nothing to do with my family, it has nothing to do with me. Again, no title to this piece. I'm calling it the Costco parking lot. I crashed my car in the Costco parking lot. I was chasing after an empty spot, not knowing it was already being chased long before I even saw it. I was thinking, well, not thinking very clearly, about how I may have forgotten the shopping list on the kitchen counter. And I was thinking about picking up the kids from baseball later this afternoon. And I was thinking about whether or not I had time to get gas before that. And I was thinking about how I shouldn't have walked down that aisle years ago. And I was thinking about divorcing Greg and quitting my job and running away with someone young and cool and hip and hot. I was thinking about starting over. So I T-boned the car. It was a gray Nissan, the color of boring with a shade of dead seal. She was turning in. I was going straight. I didn't see her. I swear on my life, I did not see her. An older lady steps out of the vehicle. Her body language screams mad before I even see her face. Are you crazy? Yes. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Did you not see me clear as day? Yes, I am. No, I did not. She looks about my mother's age, gray in the hair, crow-footed at the eyes. If she weren't so upset with me, hello? Anybody in there? She's waving her hands in my general direction with great force. And with the sun in my eyes, she really does kind of look like my mom. I feel an overwhelming urge to cry into her arms. I'm sorry. You're sorry? She's scoffing at me. There's a pang of guilt and shame and embarrassment in my chest. The feeling of failing. I'm calling the police. That's normal procedure for a collision, but the way she says it feels so barren and cold. Like she wants me to get sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. I feel inside my jacket pocket. There's no shopping list. I'm so tired. There are cars now piling up and jammed in different areas of the parking lot due to my lack of attention. I feel like drowning. The old woman rattles on the phone with the police. She calls me a crazy lady. I stare at the dent in her gray Nissan. I feel like that. Anyway, so that's the Costco piece. Clearly this woman's not doing great. I hope she divorces her husband. I hope she sends her kids to summer camp so she doesn't have to see them. And I hope good things for her. I don't know her, and I think that's where her story ends. I don't know if I'm gonna keep working on this piece, but I feel like could be potential, but it really was just like a standalone, like thinking about crashing your car in a Costco parking lot. Next I have for the group is a bad breakup. How about that? Not the best vibes. I don't remember when I wrote this. I don't know why I wrote this. I think maybe I asked my girlfriend to give me a prompt, and maybe, I don't remember what she said. I don't even remember if I did do that. I don't remember. All I know is I did write this, and it was fun to write, but it was sad. Yeah, the context that I'm giving is quite lackluster, so I think I should just read it. And then you can tell me if the context that I gave was good enough. Okay. She leaves me on a Tuesday afternoon. I called in sick that morning. There was a pain in my stomach that I exaggerated into food poisoning in my email. Maybe I had the foresight to know that I would taste heartbreak on my tongue. She texted me if she could come over. I didn't tell her I was feeling under the weather. I wonder if she just knew. I met her on an overcast day down by the dock. She was feeding geese. There was a family of them, little goslings running amok. She had a large black tote bag and she was tossing raw oats at them aimlessly. She was so nonchalant about it. It made me laugh. Do geese eat oats? She jumped a foot in the air. The oats in her hand scattered around us like raindrops. She clutched the strap of her tote close to her chest. Jesus Christ, don't do that. I backed up, hands in surrender, and I tried not to laugh at her. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you could hear me walk up to you. In my greatest defense, I was so very sure that anyone could hear the clunking of my combat boots, or at least feel the weight of the vibration beneath them. She pointed to her ears, wireless headphones. She took them off with a huff. Yes, geese eat oats. It's very nutritiously dense. She didn't say much else. She just opened the tote bag back in my direction, and I grabbed a handful. We tossed them at the geese. We spent the next 2 years together. I met someone. She doesn't even take off her coat. She doesn't even ask me why I'm not at work. And at first, I honestly don't even understand what she means. Okay, I say. Met someone where? She doesn't respond. And for a while, we just sit and stare at each other like she wants me to figure it out so she doesn't have to say it. I'm sorry, is all she does end up saying. I find out later that she's been training the new hire at the bird sanctuary. I find out much later that she's been sleeping with her for the past 3 months. I call in sick for the rest of the week. My nose is buried deep in the pillow on her side of the bed. I soak in the crumbs of her that I have left. There's a spot on the pillow that smells like her shampoo. I cry in it so hard that my tears mask the scent, and it never smells like her again. I remember why I wrote this now. I think that the prompt was geese and crumbs, or something, or a crumb, or so. I don't remember it actually, but I do remember the crumb, because when I read the crumb, I remember thinking that my girlfriend gave me the prompt of a crumb. Could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But yeah, that was the random thing that I wrote off of the potential prompt of maybe being given the word crumb to use. Next, I think this is my favorite one. My best friend Grace, she gave me a prompt, and it was scraping your knee like a little kid on the curb. And that was the prompt that she had given me, and I wrote this, and it's a meet cute, and I love a meet cute, and I love writing about a meet cute. So fun, so cute. This is about this girl who eats shit on the curb. It was the curb that Maya had tripped on. She was holding 2 brown paper bags of overpriced groceries, leaving her vision worse than subpar. Which is to say, she couldn't see a damn thing, and was hoping to be led back safely to her apartment by blind faith. Now, she's cradling her scraped knee on the sidewalk, surrounded by her bruised and scattered produce. Her oranges have somehow rolled about 2 meters away from her. Embarrassed doesn't even begin to cover what she feels. She sniffles. Oh fuck. Great. She's crying. The pain radiating from her knee is excruciating. She takes a closer look, and there's bits of gravel in there. She bites her lip to stop herself from crying more. The scrape is just large enough that she knows one of those big band-aids won't be able to cover it without the adhesive getting on the cut. She wipes her nose with the back of her shirt sleeve. She feels like she's 4. Holy shit, are you okay? A voice calls out from the other side of the street. Oh, how wonderful. She had an audience. Without looking, she gives the stranger a thumbs up, but she hears their footsteps approaching nonetheless. Great. This is fantastic. Really. God damn, you went down hard. Her audience member is down by her side now, oranges in the palm of her hands. Maya looks up at her, dirty blonde hair and a charming grin. At this angle, Mystery Girl is blocking the sun with the back of her head, so an illusion of a halo appears around her face. Maya blinks through her tears. Who is this golden savior of hers? Hi, is all she manages to croak out. She takes the oranges from her hands. Thank you for my orange, she adds. Mystery Girl chuckles. You're welcome for your orange. Mystery Girl cleans up the rest of Maya's avalanche produce and helps her up to her feet. Maya winces in pain. Do you live close by? I can walk you home if you want. There's a split second where Maya thinks about the dangers of random strangers on the street. And then the portion of her brain that has always wanted a meet cute overrides her system and she speaks before she can stop herself. Yeah, I'm actually just around the corner. I was so close to home before I ate it. Mystery Girl laughs in sympathy. Dang, almost to the finish line. Hate to see you get blue shelled like that. Maya raises an eyebrow. Was that a Mario Kart reference? Sure was. Oh, please be gay, is all Maya can think. And that's all. That's all I have to offer the group. How fun, how sweet, how cute. Anyway, that again, I feel like could be cute. It could go somewhere. So I think, I don't know, if I wanted to keep writing these pieces, they obviously have the potential to be bigger than what they are right now. But I also find a lot of fun in just writing little pieces and letting that just be an exciting way to get your creative juices. I hate when people say that. To get your creative juices flowing. Anyway, I have one more to share with the group today. And this one's a little different. It's a little fantastical. And by fantastical, I don't even think that was correct of me to say. It's definitely not contemporary. And so because it's not contemporary, I just feel the need to think it's fantasy, but I don't know if this is considered fantasy. I don't even think it's dystopian. I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because I didn't do a lot of world building. And so there's just a lot of like language in here that could be either dystopian or fantastical because it's definitely not set in the real world. The vibe is that there's an army, there's a general, there's a commander, and there's people training to fight for an upcoming war in some magical, maybe not even magical, in some fantastical place that is not Earth. Or Earth in like 3 centuries, if humans even last that long. Set yourself in the world of like Divergent Hunger Games, but like maybe not that, but just like adjacent to that, and also think that maybe that there is some kind of like military royalty kind of vibe in here and just lump that there too, and that's kind of like the world you're gonna get. Anyway, that's a lot of context for something that's maybe about 450 words. I'm gonna begin now. You're the daughter of the general and you don't know how to fight? She's talking to me. She's talking to me. I have to respond. I don't know what to say. Hello? Yes. No. I'm sorry. No, I don't know how to fight. Jesus Christ. Arden mutters and turns away from me with a face full of what I can only assume is of disgust and impatience. She whispers something to the other commanders just out of earshot. There's sweat coming from my brow, and I tug on my training leathers that are starting to feel like duct tape around my entire body. The boy behind me snickers. I feel humiliated. I don't know why my father sent me here. If I've learned anything in the past 36 hours of being at the grounds, I absolutely do not belong here. Everyone around me looks like a warrior. Not even physically, but in the way they hold themselves. Confident, strong, ready for a fight. The only thing I'm ready to do is leave. Emerson Chen. My name rings out like an echo, and all heads turn to me. Commander Arden approaches me again. She towers over me. And I don't know how it's possible, but I feel smaller than I have all day. Come with me. She takes me into a small room in the back of the trading compound and slams the door shut behind her. There's a table and 2 chairs. It looks like an interrogation room. Sit. I listen. She takes the other chair, swings it backwards, and sits down. My stomach lurches. Why are you here? She asks. It is an interrogation. I don't know, I tell her honestly. Your father didn't tell you anything? My father doesn't speak to me. The truth comes out easier than I thought it would. And perhaps telling a commander that the general and his daughter aren't on speaking terms wasn't the wisest idea, but I don't know what else to do. Commander Arden raises an eyebrow. She gets up from the table, puts her hands on her hips, and walks around the room. I can't help but stare at her. Her broad shoulders, her waist, her legs. She looks at me briefly, and I stare up at the ceiling. It doesn't make any sense, she says to herself. Why would the general conscript his own daughter when he knows a war is coming? Maybe he wants me to learn. I try. She looks at me, unconvinced. Or maybe it's a death sentence. Dun dun dun. And that's all I have for that one. This is what I'm picturing, okay? This girl, clearly like nepo baby, but like has no fighting skill, should not be here. She does not belong. But her dad is like, again, the general. He is plotting something big time bad. Excuse me. He is plotting something big time bad. We don't know what it is, what he's doing, but just know that he's like two-timing everybody, and he's like actually buddy with the people that they're going to war with. And I don't know, he struck some kind of a deal, blah blah blah. He wants to get rid of his daughter. Plot twist, not his biological kid, so he doesn't really give a fuck about her. And so he's conscripting her into this war, thinking that she's just gonna die because he knows that she has no skill. But Commander Arden, lesbian, first of all, and the main character, also a lesbian, first of all. Or maybe she's bisexual, I don't know. Because maybe we could do like a little love triangle and there's a boy in there that like likes her. And she's thinking like, I could never be with the commander, so maybe I'll just take the boy. But like, the commander doesn't want the general's daughter to die. And the commander, by the way, they're all kind of like the same age, okay? So there's no like massive age difference. I think the commander is like maybe 2 years older. And she's like, I'm not gonna let you die, not on my watch, because like secretly I kind of like you. And it's like very enemies to lovers, very like slow burny. And Commander Arden goes like, I'm gonna be your personal trainer, and I'm gonna like train you so that you don't die for this upcoming war, this nameless war, subject unknown. That's kind of where I was going with it, but that's kind of all I have. And so maybe one day I'll keep writing it, but again, all of these are just like for fun. Everything is just for fun. Anyway, I'm gonna come closer now because I'm done reading. That is all I have to offer the group today. I'm hoping to do this more. I think it's very fun because I write a lot of these random little things quite often, and they kind of just sit in my Word document without a place to go. I just think it's such a fun activity to like get a prompt from your friend or get a prompt online or just write anything random, just to really just put pen to paper, because sometimes the hardest thing about being creative is doing it, just sitting down and just like committing to writing for about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, because once you start, then it's actually quite easy to keep going, which is something that I always have to remind myself when I get into spaces where I'm like, maybe I'm not cut out for this, but that's not true. And so I also am reminding myself with this channel too, because sometimes, as we can tell by my very, very frequent uploads, that I also tend to feel like that with this channel too, where I'll go through periods of like committing to a project, like my arcane video, or being consistent with my uploads, like when I lived back in Vancouver. And sometimes it's hard to jump back into something that was so familiar and that you take a break from it, or you get imposter syndrome and you think, I will never amount to anything in my life because I have no skill and I have no talent and I suck, which is very untrue for anybody watching. Oh, very exciting news. I wish I had a physical copy to show you right now, but I got published this summer, and my poem, Mama, I'm Changing, that's the name of the poem, is featured in a zine called Feel Zine. I'm gonna put pictures up right here. And my poem is featured there, and it's my first ever published piece. And it's also a poem that means a lot to me, and I'm very proud of it. And so if you're interested, this is where you can go find it. Yeah, that is something that I'm also really proud of, and I'm really happy about. What else? I think that's it. Here's to being more creative and being less afraid of what people think, and doing it and committing. I don't know what else. I had something else to say, but if I remember, I'll just say it in the next video, because you will see me soon. You will. Also, I'm filming on my iPad, which I think you know, maybe you don't. And filming on the iPad is great because I can really see me. You know what I mean? Like, it's better than looking at a lens. But I'm looking at myself and I should be looking here. Hi. Sorry. That's all I have to say. Bye. Oh, and one last thing. You don't have to subscribe. It's okay. But if you wanted to like the video, I heard that's good for the video. So if you want to do that, do it. Do it. I'm not going to stop you. Okay, bye.